Well, we know the name. It's the roll titles. Well, hi YouTube, Brian James at Microphone Third Guy with you once again. And I've just got back from the gym. And yes, I know it's amazing that I actually admit to going to the gym, but I just got back from the gym. And no sooner have I got back, I started looking at my computer and it's been announced. It's been announced that it will be a G9 Mark II. Not going to be a G10. The release on Tuesday the 12th at 3 p.m. London time. That's probably what, 3 p.m. is probably about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, I guess. For your East Coast of America, it's going to be about 10 a.m. I guess. And it'll be a couple of hours different on that, probably 7, 8 o'clock on the West Coast. 7, 8, 9. It's going to be somewhere around about the, about 8 o'clock in the morning if you're on the West Coast of America. I'm not very good at time zones, you can tell. But 3 p.m. in the afternoon, London time, is going to be the announcement, is going to be the release of the Lumix G9 Mark II. And I am pretty convinced that it is going to be face detect. Everything's pointing towards it being face detect, the same as on the S5 Mark II. But basically, yes, I think that's going to be the one. I did get pulled up in one of the comments on the previous video about why I don't think it's going to be a stacked sensor. The only reason I don't think it's going to be a stacked sensor is I've heard nothing, not a peep, not a thing on the grapevine from Lumix about stacked sensors. Olympus, yes, Olympus have got a stacked sensor. Having said that, a lot of the sort of sensors are being done by Sony these days, and they are heavily into stacked sensors, so I don't really know. That was a summation from me. That was a bit of a hazard of a guess, but I'm certainly guessing. All right, I'm going to put my prediction on the line. Definitely. G9 Mark II. 24 and a bit megapixel. I'm going to say a stacked sensor just to keep everybody happy. Because if it's not a big problem, but it would be nice to see. And certainly phase detect. The thing is, it's interesting. Everybody's going on about this phase detect as if it's something so radical. Olympus have had OMDS. I got pulled up for calling it Olympus. OMDS have had phase detect for all the way through the EM1 range. So it's nothing new on them, but it is new for Lumix. It will make a big difference. But having said that, I've never been too upset by the depth from defocus for what I do. I know it does cause some of you problems, nature photographers and sports photographers especially, but it's never caused me problems. But it'll be really interesting to see that on there. What else do I see on the camera? I probably think it's going to have a different battery, I'll be honest. I think it's probably going to have, I think it's going to be in basically the same form factor as the current G9. It's probably going to have a battery based on the same one for the G9, but with a suffix which will make it a bigger capacity or something like that. That's usually the way that they work. Just probably out of spite, you won't be able to use the same batteries. That's also how things tend to work. Really concerned about cards though. I hope it still stays as 2 USB 2 cards. USB 2? UHS 2. UHS 2. SD cards, the fancy ones. I hope it's going to stay as 2 of those and not go to the fancy high performance card, because they're expensive. And I think from a still shooting point of view, with a good hybrid capability, I think that we'd be better off having the SD cards, the Series 2 cards, to be able to do that. They've got fast enough write and read speeds to be able to handle almost every scenario except for the highest video sort of modes. So yes, that's what I would like to see on there. I really hope that you don't have to buy a new battery grip. Please keep it as the same battery grip for the previous one, please, because I hate having to buy new battery grips when I've got effectively a replacement camera. the good thing with the EM1 Mark II and EM1 Mark III is they shared the same battery grip, which is good. So hopefully that will be the case on that. What else do I think it's going to be? Since I'm on here making my predictions, I think much of a muchness on this. I'll tell you what I really would like to see. I was playing with the GH6 the other day, and it's got the normal sort of tilt swivel screen, but also it's got the ability to act as a flippy screen. So a lot of the still photographers prefer the flippy up and down screen rather than having to wind out the screen to the side. They prefer it just to be able to do, look down or look up in line with the camera rather than having to unfold it and turn it around and things. So the one on GH6 does both. It will flip out, but also acts as so it does a tilt swivel, but also does a flippy screen. It is a little bit thicker, but not silly thick. So I would like to see that on the G9 Mark II. Again, let me know what your thoughts are in advance of the release. But interesting news. It's definitely going to be the G9 Mark II. Till the next time, keep taking your current camera out and have fun with your photos. Bye-bye.